Age of Ultron introduces a few new characters from the comics into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Other than the titular character of Ultron, the two that seem to be getting the most attention are the brother-sister duo Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. A big inconsistency in the comics is who their father is, which has changed on more than one occasion, one being very recently. It's needlessly complicated to say the least, but let's try to unravel it all. Welcome to Comic Misconceptions, I'm Scott, and a few weeks ago I uploaded a video very similar to what you're watching right now, but I got some of the info wrong and excluded some notable details, so I took it down, and now I'm repurposing it for this week. Basically, it's the first official NerdSync retcon. Positive reframing. Speaking of retcons, there have been quite a few of them regarding who the parents of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are. The first one that I want to talk to you about is the story of a Golden Age hero named Whizzer. This guy has one of the most incredible origin stories, and I mean that in the most literal sense of the word. Robert Frank was bitten by a snake as a kid. His scientist father tried to give him a blood transfusion, but instead of human blood, he was given the blood of a mongoose because they were out in the wild and had nothing else. Bob is miraculously revived, but for no real explained reason, his father just drops dead, probably because every good hero needs at least one deceased or missing parent. The mongoose blood now coursing through his body grants Bob the speed of a mongoose. Bob declares, "If I'm as fast as a mongoose, I'm faster than any human being in the world." He then chooses to fight crime under the guise of a whizzer because that's what fast things do. They whiz by ya. Later, that origin was expanded upon to really be that the mongoose blood kickstarted his latent mutant ability of super speed. Now, as I said, for a while Whizzer was considered the father of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, aka Wanda and Pietro Maximoff. When Wanda first meets Whizzer in Giant-Sized Avengers #1 from 1974, she notices that his speed is very reminiscent of her brother's. After some prying, Whizzer tells the story of how he and his pregnant wife Madeline, another Golden Age hero who went by the name of Miss America, came to a place named Wundagore, where she gave birth to twins named Pietro and Wanda. After Madeline died a few days later, Whizzer fled, leaving his newborn children to be raised by an anthropomorphic cow named Bova, who was created by a genetic scientist named the High Evolutionary before they ran away, becoming nomadic orphans. It's confusing. Just roll with it. A few years later, in Avengers #186 from 1979, we see an altered story that takes away the idea of Whizzer as the father and replaces it with the more familiar Magneto story. A woman by the name of Magda Eisenhart came to Wundagore alone, trying to escape her husband Magneto and make sure that her children would never meet him and become corrupted by his madness. Magna delivered her children, Wanda and Pietro, but fearful that Magneto would find her and torture her for information about the kids, Magna fled to the wilderness alone, where she presumably died. Enter Whizzer and his wife Madeline. They too had come to Wundagore to have a child because apparently it's the place to be when you're about to give birth. Unfortunately, their child is stillborn and Madeline dies due to complications of the childbirth. Bova offers to give Whizzer the two infant twins Wanda and Pietro as some sort of compensation and maybe bring some joy back into his life, but the grief was too much and Whizzer did what he does best and ran. Wanda and Pietro were then taken to a tribe of gypsies where they were raised by Django and Maria Maximoff, who had recently lost their own two children. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver would grow up and eventually flee the gypsy camp and travel around Europe as nomads, where they would meet Magneto after he saved them from a group of hostile villagers. Neither Magneto or the twins knew at the time that they were related. In fact, Magneto had believed that the children his wife gave birth to must have died soon after she ran away. Magneto even investigated the situation just to make sure. He went to Wundagore, found Bova, and calmly inferred about the children his wife gave birth to. When Bova says that his children are indeed alive, Magneto essentially tortures her for their names. When Bova reveals that they are Wanda and Pietro, everything suddenly clicks with Magneto and he sets off to find them, creating this nice yet complicated family moment between them all. As for poor Whizzer, well, he had some health issues and suffered a few heart attacks in his time. His last one was fatal, and he died forever believing that he was the father of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch out of some delusion or false memory that he had created to cope with the loss of his wife and child. The idea of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch being children of Magneto was the status quo for a very long time until the recent Axis event that changed everything again. There's a lot going on in this story, so I'll just tell you what you need to know for this specific topic. Scarlet Witch feels betrayed by Magneto and Quicksilver, so she casts a spell to strike down her family. Quicksilver goes down, but Magneto stays up, indicating that there isn't any real blood connection between them. He is not their father. The Uncanny Avengers title right now is still going through the apparent real origin of the twins, and perhaps I'll make a tie-in video to this one when that whole story wraps up. I've read a bunch of theories online so far that are all over the place, but I think I'll just wait until the comics give us the official answer and make a video about that. Something I do want to mention that I think is very likely is that they're changing up Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's origin solely because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, since Fox has the movie rights to the X-Men franchise and Magneto and mutants in general. The MCU likely has to find a way around calling the twins mutants. What I think is probable is that Marvel wants to redo their comic book origins to be more like whatever they reveal them to be in the Age of Ultron movie. That way people won't get mad when the movie says Magneto isn't their father because, hey, it's comic accurate now, so take that. But something I think is notable is that the Marvel Ultimate Universe, specifically Ultimates 3 Issue 3, tells a story that might imply Wolverine is actually their father. Well, specifically, Wolverine only thinks Wanda could be his daughter, but Pietro could still be Magneto's son. Wolverine was traveling through the mountains when he came upon Wundagore, where he was found by a woman named Magda. She took him in, they got a little cozy, but then Magneto comes home and sends Wolverine on his way. So it's up in the air who their real father is. Wanda and Pietro also have an interesting relationship in the Ultimate Comics, but we're not gonna touch on that. What do you guys think? Which father do you like better for Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch? Magneto, Whizzer, possibly Wolverine, whoever it will be in the future of the comics? And what do you think Age of Ultron is going to do? Also, just a reminder that this video did come out before Age of Ultron, for all those watching in the future and wondering why I didn't talk about it. Speaking of Avengers, this video was part of NerdSync Avengers Month. We're doing a whole month of Avengers and Marvel episodes in preparation for Age of Ultron. We've got a few more to come that I'm pretty excited about, so make sure you hit that big sexy subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of it. Once again, I am Scott. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll see you guys right here next time for more things you thought you knew about comics. See ya.